Welcome to Southern Sisters, where real talk meets rooted faith. We're your hosts, Megan, Lindsay, Courtney, and Evie, bringing sisterhood, laughter, and a whole lot of grace to the everyday chaos. Welcome to our episode of Southern Sisters. We're so glad you're here. We're glad to be with you today. We are going to talk a little bit about what happens when you're stuck in survival mode and how to thrive, because we feel like this is going to be posting mid-July, like it's in the throes of summer. Yeah. Like we need to make sure that we are living our best life possible and not just in survival mode. So that's what we're talking about today. And we're excited to share with you guys all of that. But before we do, we have a listener review we'd like to share. This podcast is so cute and encouraging. I love the family dynamic and how sweet everyone is. You guys are so fun to listen to and always give amazing advice. And this is from our friend Ainsley Burgess, who is a sweet friend. She graduated with my daughter, Kate. And I just think it's really great that another young adult thinks we give great advice. That's huge.
Such a big deal.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that review. And for everyone who shares review, we love them. We listen and read them and are so grateful for your support. It means everything with this that we're doing. Anytime we get feedback or text from friends or shared stories of how a podcast episode helped and encouraged and uplifted, like it's the reason why we keep doing this.
Yeah.
So it is everything. So thank you for that. Okay. Our icebreaker question for today is, if you had a warning label, what would it say about you? And mine is, warning, we'll feed you, we'll hug you, and then ask you deep life questions.
And give great advice.
Yeah.
You do.
You do.
Well,
warning. Get ready. Your life is about to change.
All from a conversation.
I feel like you and I have that in common.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you give great advice too.
Well, not the advice. Like
sometimes.
having.
Just kidding.
I mean, not that one. I feel like I am awesome that way too. I'm awesome. Me too. Me too. That's what it sounded like I was saying. That's not what I was saying.
Next thing you say something,
I feel like I'm great too.
I think I have that quality as well.
No, I literally just had somebody say, every time I have a conversation with you, everything changes. That was the part I was saying. Not, I'm awesome too. I give great advice. I'm really cool.
And relatable.
I'll feed you and hug you too.
I give better hugs.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
That was not
mine
what I was
is
saying.
warning, runs a household like a Fortune 500 CEO, but with more goldfish crackers and less bonuses.
Okay, I have a question. Did both of you use ChatGPT to do yours?
100%. I couldn't choose between that one and may spontaneously cry, clean, or counsel you, sometimes all at once.
Oh, that's good. I asked Adam. I was like, "What do you think mine should be?" And he said it should say, "Caution, loud noise ahead."
Oh my gosh.
I said, "Well, yeah, compared to you and also most of the world, I am loud, and it's okay.
And
I'm
proud.
embracing my loudness. It's fine. My voice carries. I've always been loud, but I feel like
Oh, Lindsay's here.
exactly. I don't walk in your room quietly, but I feel like mine is also, when I looked it up on ChatGPT, it talked about like you'll have, I'll walk you through pep talks. You and I will probably both cry, and Kim has said that so many times. Like, you make me cry all the time, unintentionally, and I hate it, but I need it. So that would probably be mine. Like, I
You're
might
very
make you
good at
cry,
pep talks.
but you'll feel better afterwards. I promise.
Yeah.
I love how you're loud. I
Yeah.
think it breathes.
Stop.
It breathes life into spaces
Yeah.
and
Amen.
energy, and I try to match that. Like it brings me.
No
Remember
one
that?
has ever told me this, Megan. It's always been a negative thing.
No,
My whole life.
No,
Truly.
don't you remember though? Like we were at a Castle Explorer something or another, and I was like, I was trying to match your loudness. Do you remember that? Like
Yes.
I looked
Was
at
it our
another
first
agent, and I
retreat?
was like, I feel like I have to be like Lindsay because I'm Lindsay's sister and everyone expects me to be loud as her and I'm not, but I am going to try to match the energy. And so like I tried and like got through half a day and I was like, this is exhausting. I have to be who I am.
Probably
like,
came off so fake and transparent.
No,
'cause
she
Megan,
was very.
You can see right
she
through
was,
her.
No, well, I
So
could
funny.
because I
Yeah.
know
Not
her.
then.
But they didn't know.
They didn't know.
No, they were like,
They
"Wow,
fell
you
for
guys
it.
are so funny and fun." And we were.
for a minute.
Yeah, it's
A walking advertisement for our
Megan,
podcast.
Nobody's ever made my loudness a good thing.
It breathes life.
Except like Lindsay, say it loud so the whole room can hear. Hey everybody, it's time to whatever.
Oh my goodness.
That's awesome.
It's beautiful.
Thanks, Meg. Thanks.
All right, Evie, what would your warning label be?
I also asked Josh, and he said that mine would be warning: spends money when prompted to.
Or when not prompted. To.
Exactly.
goodness.
Either
Love it.
one.
That's
Yeah.
cute.
All right, so we are going to bust straight through into our mom moment. So this is our segment for this time, mom moment. And I think this goes along with our topic today well, but kind of as a segue, we had a listener who was on Instagram and left this in the comments. You know, sometimes I put question boxes up. So if you follow us on Instagram, you get to kind of do your input on there just because it seems to be the most user-friendly place to interact right now. But one of them said, like, what do you do with kids and comparing them to each other? Like, how do you guys feel about that as moms? What would you do, or how do you avoid that, or what does that look like? And so I thought we could just talk about for a second comparison. How can we not compare our kids? What does it look like, and what traps do we fall into?
I feel like when I thought about this, I immediately thought about us growing up. And I feel like as a dad, our dad, because he's a man and had never raised girls, he was very competitive. And I feel like he was trying to ingrain that into us. And so he compared us all the time. I feel like it created a lot of sibling rivalry, while at the same time, our mom was like building us up for who we are, like seeing the good that made us different and doing all those things. So I think it does create a lot of tension. And
Well, I think my takeaway from this is just to see how, as children, how that is carried into
Yeah.
your adultness. Like, it's something that has never fully healed in a lot of ways.
yeah.
And that's so sad. So, to those listening, if you find yourself comparing your children, that's something that maybe we need to be a little bit more introspective about and realize, like, find ways and see how it shows up. Because it's just, here's the truth of it, it's just those little subtle comments.
Oh, yeah. Like, why can't you be more like blah, blah, blah?
Yeah.
It's like the little things that are just tearing down instead of building up. My immediate first reaction was like, I don't compare my kids. And I don't compare our kids to each other.
Yeah.
Because I
Truth.
can see their uniqueness and their individuality. You know, like I can see Austin's kindness and Kennedy's fun. And I can see Caleb's boldness and his bravery as well. You know,
Yeah.
like, and then I can see, you know, Jade's, whatever. I could go through all of them. And that I can see the strengths from my kid. I was listening to podcasts on the way over here. I always do that. I always listen to exactly what I need to hear somehow. And there was a quote from Dalai Lama saying that joy can only come when you know your own strengths. You can cheer other people on when you have yourself figured out. Like when you have your kids, you know that your kids have their own strengths. You don't compare them to other kids. You're able to cheer other kids' strengths on, just like with friends. Whenever you know your own strengths, you're able to cheer on your friends because,
Yeah.
and I felt that a lot more from you the last 10 years than,
Oh, it's been a lot of work I've had to put into it.
so, I mean,
Like I have had to do 10 years of energy work just to get over those things. I did the same thing with Megan's kids. And I hated that about myself. And now it's all occurring to me that this is all coming from when I was little.
yeah.
And I didn't know why. I did that for so long and I hated that about myself with the kids, like especially your kids because they were older. Like
What, about
comparing
with her
kids.
Oh,
Comparing
you
kids.
did it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, because it was a fear in me, like, are my kids going to do that? What would I do?
Oh, okay.
Like if they were ever struggling with something, it was always something that was like, it would fill me with anxiety. That anxiety was something I had to do energy work for 10 years. I've been doing energy work for 15 years. Like on and off for 15 years. And it's to get rid of all that stuff. So while I don't have anger and resentment and stuff towards dad at all anymore, like I have gotten rid of so much stuff like that. I'm like, oh, that's the reason why I did that.
We know nobody's perfect.
How could our lives have been different? You and I would have had a totally different relationship.
Right. I truly believe that.
I would have felt more comfortable in my skin way sooner than I ever did, and quit like dimming myself. And you and I would have been way closer because we had so much in common.
Yep. I think the point is, what are some ways that you do not, like, how do you keep from comparing your kids? You look at their strengths. You accentuate how they're different, but still beautiful.
I went to a parenting class me and Adam did years ago. And one thing she said really stuck with me, and it was, don't water the weeds. So when your kids are struggling or they're having a hard time, stop pointing out the bad or the different. Like, water the flowers and you'll get more flowers. If you water the weeds, you're going to get so many more weeds. So you find the good, you find what makes them unique. And also one of my favorite things we like to do is to talk good about them to each other when they're just like right out of, like in earshot, but right out of the room. Because I think it's really important that they hear you say good things.
Yeah.
Instead of like, oh, they did this today. It's like, guess what she did today? Like, just truly talk about it. I mean, Austin could totally see through all that because he's older, but like when they're younger, it's so important that you do that and
Empower them and like lean into their greatness. I think that I have 2 boys that I parent very carefully because I was an older sister to 2 sisters who were very much in competition with each other.
Yeah.
And I have seen the power that their relationship can have because of their differences, how they can support each other. And literally, these 2 boys are the life. Like their relationship, I take 100% responsibility for.
You should. But no, seriously.
Yeah,
because I
seriously.
saw the same thing with my husband's family. Like, there's 2 brothers,
Yeah.
different as night and day, and in competition with each other in different ways.
Still.
And it doesn't breed friendship when you have competition.
It's so
If
good.
the goal of families is to get us all back to God, then we need each other and we need the gifts that each other has. And the number one thing the adversary is going to try to do is make you feel like you're a black sheep in your own family. So you don't feel that support and that love and that confidence that is meant to be built in a time where we all need each other.
Yeah.
And so, having seen those examples, it has been my goal to be like, we will be friends. And so I am constantly refereeing between them. Like, we talk about situations like, yes, this happened, but do you see how maybe he could see this? Yes, this happened,
Like sharing
but
the other
yes,
perspective.
Yes, but this is what he's good at, and this is what you're good at. And yes, you both have Riz, and yes, it's totally okay that it's a different kind of Riz based on who you are and
Yeah.
who he is. And we speak this language, but it is like, it matters.
No, it matters. And you've done such a good job because they are friends.
They are friends and they hang out together. But even with my oldest 2 kids, like, it has been great to have that culture in our family. Like, we include, we don't exclude, like, we hang out together. My oldest daughter, when my son went to high school, she was a senior, he was a freshman, and she made time to include him in her people. And so with my son coming up with his brother coming into the teen years, I'm like, just like your sister made a space for you, you make a space for him. We always make a space for each other and appreciate our differences and recognize that there's enough for everybody. And it's a really big deal. That needs to be your family culture.
Yeah.
And as the mom, you create that. As the dad, you create that. So if you want to have a culture where you don't compete, I tell my kids, I say this with all of my kids, but the strongest emotion wins. If the emotion in your family is to be competitive and to be aggressive, then that is the permeating emotion. And I tell my kids all the time, our strongest emotion in our house is love all the time. Love and acceptance. And
you create that as parents. You
Yes.
get to decide what the atmosphere is in your home.
well, and there's so many times when there's situations arise and I'm like, the strongest emotion is love. The strongest emotion is love.
It's not always
Like,
easy.
don't say that. Don't say that.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes I fail. But for the most part, like if we can keep that love, then it wins.
We need a new segment. Megan's mic drop moment. She just lays it down.
Truth bomb.
That's good, Megan.
Okay.
It's true.
So let's jump into how do we thrive versus survive? What are some signs that we're living in survival mode? Let's just rapid fire here.
Watching TV all day.
Doom scrolling.
Forgetting to say prayers.
Eating out lots.
Oh, convenience foods.
Yes.
Like
Irritability.
Yeah.
Quick to
Not
snack.
out on your kids.
Exercising, not
Yeah.
drinking enough water,
Yeah.
Piles and piles of laundry.
Headaches.
Yeah.
Messy house.
more
Dirty
screen
desk.
time.
More screen time.
Messy counter.
Yes.
What is it about
How about messy car?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Don't get me started.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, what are some small habits that you have that have helped you climb out of that?
I just had this happen the other day. Like literally 2 days ago. I had a lot of bad news all in one day. And it was like thing after thing after thing that was not working out. And stuff with my family and then lots of work stuff. Like Adam and I got into it before he left for work and then blah, 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 the whole thing. And so I'm like, man, I am in a funk today. By the end of the day, I was like, I am not doing well. I am in a funk. I need to pull myself out of it. So instead of how I've done in the past was like just wallow in it or like shove it down or whatever, I'm like, I have the tools. I teach the tools.
Yeah, she does.
In my program, I'm
You
like,
burned yourself.
yeah, I'm like, you know what to do. You tell people what to do because it's worked for you so many times in the past. But I'm like, instead of like we talked about this week in class, the whole idea is when you have a cookie or a piece of cake, like the idea is it's not bad. You don't beat yourself up for having a treat. You get back on the wagon as quickly as possible. And that's where people fail. They're like, well, I had a piece of cake. Now I'm going to eat the whole cake or whatever the case may be. Right. You just forget about it. I've ruined it.
Just love cake.
Right. instead of doing that, you get back on the horse very quickly and then it doesn't affect your whole life. Right. So it's the same with these thoughts and these anxious thoughts. And when you're in a funk, you call it what it is and you say it's a funk. Like, I am not okay right now, but I know how to get myself out of it. And so I talked to a friend and she's like, you know what to do. I'm like, I know what to do because she hears it all the time. And so I'm like, okay, I need to have some time to myself. So Adam took the kids and they went and picked up something and got ice cream or whatever together. So I had time by myself. And I did something for myself. I'm like, I want to do my nails so I feel like a human being. So I feel good about myself and do something like that. And the third thing is one of my favorite tools over the last couple of years is letters to God. And I don't think I've ever talked about this, but it is where it's different than a brain dump when you're like writing all the things you have to do. It's like, it's been one of the coolest things because it has made me be intentional in what I'm saying and just pour out my heart to my Heavenly Father. And so I will write these letters and put down everything that is on my heart. Some things come out that I didn't even realize were there, which I think are really important. And I just pour out everything and I just sit there and I have like meditation music on and I just wait. And I like turn the page and I just wait and I write down whatever comes in my mind. And usually it's things that I didn't even ask about. Sometimes it's things that I need to do or not do about things. Sometimes the answer is just wait. Like things are coming that you've asked for. That's what it was this week. Just wait. I'm preparing all these things. You just need to wait a little bit longer. And so that's been one of my favorite tools lately, are letters to God, and pulling yourself out of it and not getting stuck there is so important. Sometimes it's hard to do, but it's so important.
Well, and I think this prayer journaling that you do, where you write a letter to God and you wait for the responses to come back, is really important because it's intentional. You're carving out a space for a response. How often with prayer do we just like
Amen.
hustle
Thank you,
through
and then you walk
and
off.
go
Check.
back?
Yeah.
Yes, it's,
Yeah.
it's really powerful that you can do that. And if you try this, and maybe you don't have a flood, it's like a muscle. It's like with anything
Totally.
else. The
At first, it was really
you
hard.
prayer journal and you wait for inspiration to come, you could just get a line.
And sometimes it's like, did that come from me, or was that my head, or was that from God? Was that something I need to do? You get better at it as you keep doing it. But sometimes I'll get things that pop into my head. I'm like, that was so not me, because I needed to hear that and I don't want to hear that.
Right?
When was your latest funk, Megan?
I feel like, well, it was last week. Remember when I had that breakdown cry Instagram reel that I put whenever I was working a ton for Ben? And my friend, you didn't see that?
She
Courtney?
doesn't follow you on Instagram.
Sorry, I was in my own funk. Go ahead.
This is my problem with social media. I know you would love to see everything I post, but you don't.
Yeah, it's the
right?
algorithm. It's
We're
stupid.
not going to go there. Okay.
Okay.
But I had a friend, like I was so frustrated because my big 3 kids were gone out of town and I was just overwhelmed getting the little kids where they needed to, trying to help my husband, running his front desk.
I had
He
no
saw-
time for yourself.
No, he saw a lot of people, and I was complaining to one of my friends, and I was like, I've had the dishes in the sink for 2 days, and I just don't have the energy to do it. And whenever I came home that day, she had broken into my house and had done my dishes. And I knew because Ben was with me all day.
Yeah.
And like the
Right.
little kids weren't going to do it, you
Yeah.
know? And so I just saw it, and I just felt seen, and I felt helped, and it was just enough to get me through the next 2 days.
Yeah.
To do what I needed to do and to get done what we needed to get done. But that was like a full survival moment. And I was just like, ooh, and it just sharing and being vulnerable with somebody I felt safe with was just great. I didn't share that with her expecting she would act on it
Ever.
ever.
Yeah.
But she did. And I felt loved. And I was like, okay, we've got this because
Up our
they're-
security system too. Just kidding.
Never. You don't now.
Just
Well, Evie, I
kidding.
feel like Evie, you've been through like surviving.
Ever since
like-
you moved, it's been
and
crazy.
travel
Yeah.
and summer.
Yeah.
What have
Jeez.
you used to kind of bring yourself?
Tell us about your.
When's your latest funk?
things.
I'm very bad at what's the word?
Pulling yourself out of it.
Yes.
Sharing?
I'm very bad at pulling myself out of it.
Telling people.
Yes, exactly. Because I don't like to tell people. I feel like, I don't know, like, I just think like people already have enough going on in their lives. Like, I don't need to add to the problems with my problems. I don't know. I'm just very bad about it. But like, usually Josh is the one that helps me to pull out of my funk, and we like help each other keep each other accountable for things. But that was kind of hard when he
went down.
went down. Yeah. So when he's down, I don't know. I need to figure out like how the tools for
Evie,
that. Yeah.
You have sisters. Well, and even though I have a question for you, Evie, because I feel like this comes up a lot with women. If I asked you, and I was really struggling, and I was in a really low point, and I asked you to be my person, would you show up?
Yes.
I know you would. Like, no matter what, when you don't share what's going on, people can't be there for you because you're right. Everybody's like going crazy, just like you are, just like everybody's doing that. But being able to show up for somebody is just as much for you as it is for them.
Yeah.
Like that night, Mom was like, I need you to go to Josh and Evie's house. And I was like, what? What's happening? Are you busy? I'm like, no, not now. Like, yeah, I'm busy always, but what do they need?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And she was
That's
like,
a terrible question.
Not the question. Are you busy? Yes.
Always.
Always.
But she was like, I can't get there. And Evie's like, she's handling everything. And Josh isn't doing well. And he has like a migraine, like really bad. And I'm like, well, I have great experience with that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know exactly what to do. But to be able to go and be there for him when he's someone who just serves wholeheartedly
Yeah.
and never shares when he's suffering, like it filled me so much to be like, yeah, I can drop everything I'm doing. Like, it doesn't matter that I was busy or like had to do stuff. Like it was everything to be able to show up. And so
Yeah.
I think if everyone listening will just, the adversary and Satan, whatever you want to call them, crazy chick in your head, whatever you want to say, he does not want us to feel like we have a village. He wants us to feel alone. And that no one else can understand what we're feeling. No one else cares about us. We're suffering in silence. That is, feeling isolated and alone when you're in so much pain is what he wants more than anything.
Yeah.
And if we will all just make an effort to just say a little bit like, all right, I'm calling it what it is. Everyone goes through this. This is a funk that I'm in. It doesn't mean I'm going to stay there forever. I'm in a funk. I need a little help. And my friend, when I said that like 2 days ago, she reminded me like, okay, you need to do something for you and you need to do something fun. And I was like, okay, you're right. I know what to do. But saying it out loud, it helps you get over it so much quicker. So if you want to get over it quicker, if you want to connect with people and have people rally around you, because we all want that when we're struggling.
Yeah.
Like deeply, we all want that. Just say it a little bit, or maybe pray about who's the person you need to tell.
I will
You don't
say
wanna tell
that
the world.
I was proud of myself for calling Courtney
Yeah.
and asking her if she could help
was
me with
too.
my
I was
kids.
very proud of you. And where does this guilt come from for inconveniencing
We all
people when
do.
we need help?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It comes from Satan.
Yeah.
You know, like that's
Yeah.
those thoughts that are like, oh, they're probably so busy. You know, they have so much going on. You know,
We all have those.
There's nothing that I would rather do than be there for you guys.
Drop everything.
Yes.
Exactly. Especially Josh. Josh never needs anybody
No.
because he takes care of it all. And
Yeah.
him needing help like is just
I'm like, are you
100%.
kidding me? I would fly there if I could. Like, he needs me. I am there.
Super sister.
Yeah. Adam's like, hey, you're supposed to do payroll tonight. I was like, who cares? Caution to the wind.
Right.
Like, it'll get done. Yeah, and it did. Because Adam's over there like,
So
think of
funny.
it. So, like, you can rally around each other when you know, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's so important. My noise.
That should be your caution sign. That should be your warning label. And anytime she will bust out that tick, 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 tick.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh my
Amy,
goodness.
I'm glad you shared that.
It's a
so
big
many
deal.
people.
You look at it as a sign of weakness, and it's not.
Yeah. I think it's because like I'm such an empath that like when people lay their problems on me, I like absorb it. And so I'm like, I don't want to make somebody else feel like that.
We talked about that.
I know. We did.
So,
We did have
so
a
tell the world.
conversation about
How
what.
are you?
What do you
how
do when
help
you're
that?
like that? When you're somebody that you feel burdened by other people? Like when
You explain it better.
okay. So
She does.
I was
wants to.
telling Evie and I were talking about this, and she was talking about how there were
Lately,
several. Yeah,
yes.
tell that part.
Lately, like there have just been so many people in my life that and I'm honored
struggling.
that they confide in me, but it was just all at once, like so many people just laying all their problems on me, and I want to be there for them, but it was just like draining me and like just making me feel guilty for my own life.
Yeah.
And
And that's what I was telling her, and Mom and I have talked about this a lot too, with things that she's experienced in the past, because she was like that too. And what you do when this happens is when you feel like you're about to go into a situation or you already are in there and you feel like you're somebody who takes on people's emotions or you feel them very deeply, you can pray and ask to have your guard up. So like I just picture like this bubble going around me that it's see-through. So like I want people to still feel like they can connect with me and that they're being seen and heard. But you can pray to be like, okay, help me to have my guard up and to have this protection around me so people can say how they feel, but I don't absorb it into me.
Yeah.
Because it makes you a better person when you can be there for someone and then continue on your life. Like we're not meant to be drained and you're meant to help people because you have that gift. So I think it's really cool. I never knew that until about 10 years ago. And I'm like, oh, it affects how I feel, just like different things, like scary movies affect me.
Yeah.
Like because I'm an empath, I can feel all the things. And so that is what you can do is protect yourself. And then you can still be a light to other people without them draining your energy or losing some of your light, which I think is important.
Yep.
All right. So if we get to the point where we pull ourselves out of this hole, what do you think is the difference between thriving and hustling?
So my latest funk was on Sunday last week. I was on day 8 of 10 of Jared being out of town, and it was
Big
a Sunday,
hole in your driveway.
and I did not. Sinkhole in my driveway. Brothers in the hospital.
Yeah.
Like so many things were horrible that week. Kids were crazy. But I didn't want to do church with the twins with 5 kids by myself, so I just stayed in bed all day long, and I watched Gilmore Girls and. I
All
think
the kids
that's
just
okay
partied.
sometimes.
You had a
I
rot
did
day.
the bare minimum.
Yeah.
I just took care of
Wait,
them.
is that the new phrase? Rot day? You had a
rot
rot
day.
day.
A rot day.
Yeah, we're not cool enough to know these phrases.
Yeah,
but
right?
I've heard a kid say
but
that.
that's okay.
Now I
It
do.
happens to people.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking a lot about the difference between thriving and hustling, and I have a metaphor. Okay, so you can picture it. So hustling is like treading water. Okay, you're moving, but you're exhausted. And thriving is like floating. You're still in the water, but there's rest and there's rhythm. So hustling is it's about getting through. So it's like the grind, the survival mode. You're checking boxes, you're doing what has to be done, and you're running on fumes. You might be physically present, but mentally and emotionally, you're stretched thin, and it's the car running on empty, just trying to make it to the next gas station.
Wow.
And then thriving, on the other hand, doesn't mean everything's perfect. It means you have margin, which I never thought of that word before. You're still busy, sure, but there's joy, connection, and a sense of purpose woven into the mess. You're not just surviving the to-do list. You're noticing moments, laughing, breathing a little deeper. It's when your day reflects your values, not just your obligations.
Dang. Say that again.
So hustling is all about, I'm just kidding.
Not the whole thing. That last part about how your day reflects your values.
It's when your day reflects your values and not just your obligations. So you're doing things out of relationship and not out of routine.
That needs to be
Oh, that's
an
good.
Instagram quote
Yeah,
or
it
something
does.
to put out there.
Yep.
That's fantastic.
I love it. And no, I thought that was beautiful, Courtney. Okay, so how can we redefine success in our current season of summer? What is it to have a successful day when you are in a season of summer, which is just, I'm just using it to describe like long days.
I was listening to like one of our podcast episodes. I don't remember which one it was, but you were talking about being present and how sometimes we feel like being present means being present like all day, but it can just be 10 minutes. Cause I know like one thing that I noticed that we're kind of, like allowing more is screen time. And I'm like, okay, I don't want that. So I decided that each day we're going to do one activity, but that doesn't mean the activity is going to be like something huge every time. It can be like story time for 10 minutes, or we're going to sit down at the table and color for 10 minutes. So that's something that I feel like
Being present. That's funny because I feel like when we're in that place of like the rot, like when we're having a hard time and we're in the funk, I feel like being present is really important. And there was this quote that I had from Michael Singer. So I read a couple books by him and he's really good. But he talks about, like we talked last week about anxiety and our anxious thoughts and getting caught up in there and trying to get yourself out of it quickly. But he said, when you continually get caught up in your anxious thoughts, they pull you away from the present moment, and every moment stolen can never be retrieved. And so what he was talking about is mentally, when you go somewhere else, getting back to the present is the thing that will get you out of it quicker. So instead of thinking, this is what I need to do, this is like all of these negative thoughts about yourself, if you will just do something where you can only help but be present, it will pull you out of it so much quicker than worrying about what's happened in the past or the future.
Mm-hmm. And summer flies by so fast.
Yeah, it does.
I want to remember it, you know?
Or that thing that somebody posted, like a jerk, that said, you only have 18 summers with your kids. And you're like, I've already halfway through
I've had
one.
19. It's a lie. Okay.
Debunked by Megan.
Yeah, right?
Or
Don't be thinking like that.
Yeah.
When I think about being present, one of my favorites is the spontaneous dance parties in the kitchen, like to
That's
Alexa.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are great. So success for me is you're basing it on what's important to you, and you're getting away from society's picture of success, which is money, status, appearance, all of those things that you think you should be doing because society tells you that that's what you're supposed to be doing. So I have a simple step-by-step
Let's hear it.
approach to help you define success in a way that feels authentic and fulfilling. Step 1 is to identify what matters to you. So figure out what is the most important. I feel like Lindsay does a great job teaching us to do, it's called 15 minutes of focus. She's talked about it before, but you kind of figure out what your big 3 are. Like, what are your big 3 things that you want to get done that day? Or what are the big 3 things that you feel like you need to focus on? What brings you peace and joy? What do you want to be remembered for? What roles are the most meaningful to you? What do you feel? When do you feel most aligned with God or your core self? And then number 2 is to reflect on your purpose or your calling. What unique contribution do you feel called to make? What do you feel God is nudging you toward? How do your gifts and experiences equip you to serve others? Even if your purpose shifts in different seasons, like focusing on motherhood now or business or ministry later, naming it brings clarity.
I mean, that's how this podcast was formed.
Right?
Yeah.
Step 3 is to define success for this season of life. Your definition of success might change over time, and that's healthy. So, for example, in this season, success might look like being fully present with your children, or success might be creating a business that gives you freedom and blesses others, or it might be healing your marriage or deepening your spiritual life. So try to finish this sentence. Success for me right now looks like blank. Okay?
Having rest.
Yes. And then number 4 is to set aligned goals or habits. So turn your definition of success into small intentional actions. If success means living in alignment with your values, what habits or boundaries or rhythms support that? So, for example, if faith is a core value, maybe success means spending 15 minutes daily in scripture and prayer. If presence with family is a goal, success might mean setting phone boundaries after 5 p.m. And then number 5 is the last one. Success isn't a one-size-fits-all. It's easy to get distracted by others' paths and remind yourself, I'm not behind. I'm walking my own path in God's time. Practice gratitude and acknowledge progress, not perfection. So success for me is living a life aligned with God, with His will, loving my family well, stewarding my gifts, and staying emotionally and spiritually grounded, especially in hard seasons.
I love that. All right. In closing, I would just like to say that as we work into coming out of survival into thriving, just make sure that you still work in rest and peace in that thriving season. It is not a reward to be earned. It's a rhythm that you choose. So let's keep that in mind. And I want to close with our scripture. It is Joshua 1:9. This is Joshua talking to the people, the Lord saying, "Have I not commanded thee? Be strong and of good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed, for the Lord God is with thee whithersoever thou goest." So in all the season that you have, he's with you. And together we're going to thrive in this life amidst all the crazy, amidst all the turmoil, amidst all the wars and rumors of wars and presidential elections and crazy. God is with us whithersoever we goeth. And this calling we have to steward our families and to be more than just surviving, it is a holy calling. And I hope you remember that. So
We have a reflection question.
we do have a reflection question. Our reflection question for the week is, what one thing could I let go of to make more space to thrive? So think about that and decide what that would be. And until next time,
Keep striving. We'll see y'all soon.
thanks for hanging out with us here at Southern Sisters. If you've loved today's episode, don't forget to follow us on social media for more laughs, heart-to-hearts, and behind-the-scenes real life. We'd be thrilled if you subscribed to the podcast, left us a review, and shared it with your friends, because life's always better when we're on this journey together. Until next time, keep striving, keep laughing, and keep showing up. We'll see you all back here real soon.